Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the dough. I always double my recipe, so I don't know if the one I sent you says 3.5 cups of flour or 7, but just know that I always do 7 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 cups of butter, and so forth. And just know that 2 cups of butter is 4 sticks. So when you go to buy it, always buy in 4 packs. And always buy cream cheese. I get the 8-ounce cream cheese, of course, so get 2 of them. But you can totally use store brand. Majority of the time, Walmart brand, United brand, any of those, they're going to be fine on their cream cheese and their butter. So buy cheap on that stuff for definitely. Also, I go ahead and put my flour and my baking powder in a bowl. Always do that first before you even get started. 9 times out of 10, you won't forget the baking powder, but I have forgotten the baking powder on several occasions. So I think that covers everything for now. So I'm gonna go through it quickly. I'll try to hurry. All right. So I have the butter and the cream cheese in the bowl. So you want to make sure it's really good and soft so you can beat it and incorporate it well. So I just beat the tar out of it so it really incorporates. I usually know it's incorporated when I no longer see little flecks of cream cheese in the mixture. If your cream cheese isn't fully softened, you will keep those flecks in there, and you don't want that because sometimes you get literally a piece of cream cheese in a cookie, and that's not cool. So really make sure your cream cheese is room temp and softened. Next, we'll go ahead and add the sugar. Again, remember I'm doubling it, so it's going to be 4 cups of sugar. All right, usually the batter will start getting a little fluffy, kind of like when you make chocolate chip cookies, so it's real simple, typical procedure. Next, we're gonna add the eggs in, and then all the vanilla and almond and coconut extracts. I know I put optional on the coconut, but I firmly believe this is like your secret weapon. People always, when they eat the cookie, they're like, dang, there's something in there, I can't figure out what it is. 9 times out of 10, it's that little bit of coconut flavoring. Remember that it's imitation, so if somebody's allergic to coconut, they shouldn't have a reaction, but always, you know, that's something I always ask when you do orders, is there any food allergies I need to be aware of, and so forth. Also, I am using these large containers. This is an almond bakery emulsion. It just is a little more potent on the flavor. Use the same amount, and too, I buy them on Amazon because it is so much cheaper to buy in bulk on your flavoring, like your vanilla, your coconut, and your almond stuff. Way cheaper to buy on Amazon than to buy at the store in the little containers. So really make sure this gets incorporated well. Try not to flop an egg in the floor. All right, and then I go ahead and scrape one more time because the flour part is gonna get really messy really quick, so I wanna make sure this is all good and incorporated. All right, so here we go. So adding the flour in, I can tell you, again, 9 times out of 10, I will make a mess. So I just go slow. First, I go ahead and add in, you know, a decent amount, you know, maybe 1/3 of it. And that all depends on your mixer and if you're using a hand mixer and so forth, or a huge bowl or a small bowl. But you just really want to try to keep as much flour in the bowl as possible. I start really low, otherwise it will poof up, and the girls will even tell you that I've had flour poof up on them before when they were here helping me make cookies once. So it gets pretty incorporated. So once I do that, then I go ahead and just keep adding a little bit more in. Sometimes I'll run the mixer as I do it. Just kind of depends on how sticky it is. Remember, it's a really sticky dough, and it's a lot of flour. If you double it, so you really need to make sure you have a big bowl. I think the mixer that you have, you probably could do a double recipe like this. You're just gonna have to try it out once and see. It's usually, most of my stuff, again, you learn trial and error. So you can see it add a little bit in, you can kind of see it poof up, you know, make a mess a little bit, but for the most part, you get majority in there. And you can see it's super sticky. Always remember with this dough, you want the less mixing, the better, because that keeps the cookie soft. If you mix more, it's gonna make a harder cookie, because remember, you're more often than not, you're rolling that dough more than once. You know, and especially once you start, I'll show you in the next video how to roll out your dough. You're gonna wanna make sure to not over flour your dough or overwork it, because that makes a really hard, tough cookie. Okay, so you can see, I think you can see how sticky the dough is. I mean, if you stick it on your finger, it's not really gonna come off. It's a lot of butter and cream cheese. If you want a cookie dough that has more pliability that you can work with longer, then add just, I would say, another half a cup of flour. Majority of the time when you roll it out, you're using more flour anyways, so I never add more in this stage. I just know that when I work with it later and I need it to not stick to my hands or my rolling pin or so forth, that's when I add more flour in. Okay, I think that's it for now. I'll send you a video next of the rolling of the dough. Later.